Hello, my name is Russell Stahlke. I'm a split grade, 4th, 5th grade teacher in Burien, Washington, in a suburban elementary school. We've been undergoing online teaching and learning for about 3 months now. The whole entire face of education in America seems like it just got rocked. And we look at Europe and we see some previews of what it might look like when schools open again. But there's rumors going on, okay, are the students going to return to school? Will some students now be homeschooled? Are they just going to stay that way? The budget shortfalls, districts are worried. Are we going to lose teachers? And so public education is really going through kind of a gauntlet right now. And so I think there is that apprehension for all of us. However, thinking long term, perhaps this will be good for education to go through this and kind of a wake-up call to say, how can we be more equitable? And what were we missing before? What kind of pieces can we fill in so that all students can learn together? We have so many students that are struggling to gain internet access, even utilizing resources and whether or not their device is working, and just with the added stress of what's going on with the coronavirus crisis, it's been hard for some students to really gain momentum and to be engaged in the class at no fault of their own. That's a new skill set that's emerging for teachers, principals, specialists, is how do you translate the skill set that we learned in a traditional preparatory course in college? And now you have to translate that to online learning. So that's one thing I'm undergoing right now, is how do I prepare myself to be a teaching expert, online, but also in the real world. And that real world will be different too, because kids will have so much trauma from this experience. One key I'd like to pass on to educators right now is you have to keep it engaging. I have actually had some student-led Zoom meetings where a student can create the agenda, and utilizing breakout rooms by having other educators and paraeducators there as a team. We've had some amazing, discussions for student leadership. We'll talk about, let's say, a problem like, how would you change the world? And then we'll go into breakout rooms with different sets of students and paraeducators and specialists. And then they'll have a discussion, and then we'll meet back into the general Zoom room. And it's been great. So I think that a lot of the students are gaining skills for the future world. I've been making my own predictions. We actually talk about this as a class with the students, and we're all kind of guessing, because no matter how high you go up in education, even to the Department of Education in America, I don't think anybody really knows what it's going to look like. But week by week, we're starting to kind of guess that it might be a hybrid model where some students go to the school and other students stay home, and the desks become spaced apart and people have masks. And when we think about it, America already was in sort of a crisis of sorts in education. We didn't see our scores improving, compared to the rest of the world. We see a lot of troubled youth. We see a lot of emotional regulation controls with our students. And you wonder, why is that? And so now we're thinking, okay, how do we address this trauma? And I'm saying, well, this should have already been addressed. So now we really need to double back and say, what can we do to support our students? And I think one core piece that's been missing is strong classroom management. We see teachers coming out of college, they're totally unprepared to manage challenging classrooms. And there's a total focus on academics, which they can never get to because they cannot properly manage a classroom full of challenging behaviors.